This area of the garden has been our most active this year with insects. We've had many insects visiting this area, not just for nectar and pollen, but for food too. We've had cinnabar moths, caterpillars, flies, bees, various bees, butterflies. Helps when you've got plants like this. This is sheep's spit. It flowers and flowers. And of course the Veronica was just such an attractive plant to the bees, but it's fully gone to seed now and struggled with the lack of water at the bottom, as you can see. This is strawberry mint. It is in pots, but it's grown into the cracks of the path, and it's been alive with flies, mainly hoverflies, various hoverflies, and the green bottle fly. Absolutely beautiful fly. Even if you don't like flies, the green bottle is such an attractive looking fly. It's done really well. It's still providing lots of food. The sweet pea, the everlasting sweet pea, has absolutely loved the extra light that the loss of the buddleia here has given it. It's flowered and flowered. I deadheaded it a couple of weeks ago, and it's absolutely full of flowers again, beloved by many bees. The bumblebees and the solitary bees have loved it. And generally this area has really come on since the loss of the buddleia. Lots of plants emerging. We'll probably see more plants next year because there's lots of seedlings in here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's developed. The hostas have done quite well. The dry weather's helped, obviously fewer snails and slugs about, and the gravel underneath definitely helps. It's always helped really, so yeah, I'm pleased with how that's done, and the bees love the flowers. I've been collecting seed because a lot of the plants have gone to seed, and started some seeds hoping they'll come up and have an early start for next year, various wildflower seeds. This area has completely changed now. The sweet peas have all gone, and the caterpillars, there's still eggs being laid on the cabbages, so they're staying put. And yeah, I just let things self-seed here now. The campanula's been cut back, and there are already things coming up in that first pot. Unfortunately, we've had a great tit, visiting the bee boxes. But because they've got short beaks, they're only able to get the first cell. These are deep, excuse me, bee boxes. There's between 6 and 7 cells in here, and they've only managed to get the first cell, so it should be okay. Unfortunately, they haven't touched that one at all. So yeah, these are little foxgloves, native foxglove seedlings. I started a while ago, and I've repotted, and they're doing fine. I don't put them out yet though. And this plant is, well, if you've got lavender in your garden, you'll know. It's absolutely loved by the pollinators. Honeybees, bumblebees, butterflies. It's a substantial shrub now. I've had it a long, long time. Every year I cut it back thinking it's not going to come back, but it does. And look at it. It's quite an enormous bush now, really. Yeah, loved by the pollinators. Well worth getting. Then as we go up the garden, we'll see how the dry weather's affecting parts of the garden. Nasturtiums are still being used by the butterflies too, another good plant for the whites particularly. Joe Pye plant, yeah, busy, always busy with insects generally. Although not as busy this year, I've noticed, but generally it's loved by insects. And the goldenrod a couple of years ago was absolutely covered with insects, but this year not so many. They were getting the odd honeybee on there, but I love the combination of the yellow and the purple of the toad flax. It's a lovely combination of colours. It's a lovely yellow. And this, I'm not sure what flower it is, what it's called. Obviously it's a geranium, but I'm not sure of the name. But it's a lovely blue, and it flowers well. The Japanese anemones as well, they're doing well at the back of the garden, considering they like a lot of water and they haven't had much, and it is very clayey on that border, but they're doing fine. Along with the fennel. The fennel is such a structure. Look at it. It's probably in the wrong spot in my garden because it's in the middle of the border and not at the back, but it's where it's seeded and I've never moved it. So beloved by the wasps, common wasps and hoverflies. So, but just a beautiful plant, along with the Joe Pye. What a gorgeous shade. I love the shade colour of this plant. And then towards the fence, towards the shed, we've got my David Austin rose, the only David Austin rose I could afford. It's called Rose the Mayflower. I found the label in the shed, and we've had loads of blueberries. Just took the last few off yesterday. There's just a handful left to come, but we've had plenty of blueberries this year. And this is Echinops, I think. It's another great bee flower. Bumblebees love collecting pollen from this. A great plant. Next to it is this is Russian vine. Russian sage, and it comes into flower once the lavender's gone. This comes into flower, same colour flower as the lavender, and just as popular really. So it's a great late flowering plant for the pollinators. But the buzz of the bees is just, it's summer, isn't it, that buzzing? It's the first thing you want to hear in spring is bees buzzing. I'm not sure the name of this. I've forgotten the name of it. Gone out my head. I don't know what it is. This is knapweed, native knapweed, just going to seed now. And as you can see, struggling again with the lack of rain. But there's lots of oregano left there. There's a mixture of oregano and wild marjoram in this bed too, which takes over the bed really. As much as I cut it back in the spring, it fills the bed. But everything is going to seed so quickly. This has done really well again, the ragwort this year, with our cinnabar caterpillars. We've had at least 20 caterpillars this year, so let's hope they've managed to burrow into the ground, because that's where they overwinter. And this is a Strantia. It's a red one. It's lovely when it's in flower, but I believe if you cut it back it will reflower, but I'll leave it because generally it's full of little insects. If you pull the seeds, there's usually an insect comes crawling out, so it's a great one for the insects to hide in. I find the instar of the green shield bug tend to be in these little seed heads, so yeah, nice little plant. Beautiful but useless hydrangeas. Takes a lot of water. Not great for droughts. Buckets of water really to keep it in condition. So it's a questionable plant really. And here you can see the damage of the drought really. It's not just the drought. It's very shady this area, and really the roots of 4 trees are also in this area, and obviously they take a lot of water from, especially birch trees. They really demand a lot of water, so yeah, it's really affected this area this year. The Astrantia did well, and the yellow excuse me, yellow toadflax did well, but lots of plants have come up, but they've hardly flowered. They've either had tiny flowers or very few flowers. You can see the state of the goldenrod here. It's right under a birch tree, and the same with the echinops there. The flowers are small, the bulbs, the flower heads are really small, and the Crocosmia's hardly got any flowers, and the red one has not flowered at all there this year, so yeah, a bit of a struggle there. But this has been great. This is snowberry bush, loved by all the bees, bumblebees and wasps too. Tiny little flower, obviously full of nectar, and obviously produces this lovely white berry for the birds later in the year. Yeah, tiny flowers. Right, let's do the end, towards the end section of the bit that I garden in, up towards the pond. Lovely light first thing in the mornings. Cat enjoying the first rays of sun. And this path leads us to the pond. The border here is doing quite well. It gets morning sun. It's east facing and gets a lot of morning sun at the moment. I've noticed some big trees beginning to grow, certainly not for much longer. But anyway, this is gone to seed, but a great plant for seeds. And this is sort of wildflower area, knapweed, oxeye daisy and stuff like that. It's all sort of gone over now. This is always busy with bees. Yeah, it's the toadflax, sorry, it's purple loosestrife. And you can see how well the Montbretia's doing here. It's flowering really well. I've done a little bit of maintenance on the pond. The pond doesn't get much sunlight as the fence shades it early and an apple tree shades it. So I decided the other day, after removing the duckweed, which I have to do regularly, that I ought to take out there was an iris in here. It's supposed to be a dwarf iris. Well, you can see I've put it in a pot, and it's not what I would call a dwarf iris. It's quite a substantial iris, so it's in a pot of water, and hopefully it'll flower there. So I've had to do all this with a lot of my irises. I don't know if it's because of the lack of light that they get so big, but all the nutrients in the pond, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's too big and shades the pond and makes the pond too cold, so needs some sunlight on it. So yeah, nice little area to sit. There's some chairs here, and I sit and have a coffee here and watch the insects and listen to the odd frog croaking. It's yeah, still okay up here, but again, more light, no, not so much shade as in the middle section of the garden. Yeah, very busy with bees, look. I hope it self-seeds everywhere. And on the fence, the everlasting sweet pea has gone over, but the rose is definitely coming back with a vengeance. It's a rambling rose. I think it's rambling rector from what I can find. I've been trying to find out what it is. That's what it possibly is. So I'm going to have to keep on top of it. So yeah, but I think there's a tinge of autumn colours to the garden now. This is the opposite side of the pond. I've got a small lavender here, and the cosmos are here again. They're in a raised bed, which probably wasn't a good idea because, gosh, they're out there demanding a lot of water, which obviously in a heat wave you just don't want to be doing. We haven't got a hosepipe ban here, but filling a watering can up and tipping it on, it's needed a watering can every day, really. And I've just noticed the colour in the tree here. It's the older buckthorn, just starting to get its autumn colours. Look at the light, the morning light coming through it. It's gorgeous colours, really lovely. But it seems very early for the second week of August to be changing into its autumn colours. But I think the plants are all struggling, and they have to sacrifice, don't they? It's a sort of mechanism that they do to preserve themselves. Crocosmia is always busy with carder bees, I find, so yeah, it's a good plant to have in the garden. Does spread a bit, and easy to divide and move yourself. And we've got a few blackberries left. We've had no brambles flowering this year really, but this is a cultivated blackberry and comes up every year, not very big. There's a nice insect on it, don't know what that is. And yeah, so just picking a few as I walk up the garden. It's nice little snack as I go up for my coffee. And as we go up, this is bird's foot trefoil. You can see where it gets its name from if I show you the seed pods. They just look like little birds' feet. So yeah, it's just finishing now. Last few flowers on that. Again, I think if you cut that back, you can get it to reflower. Lots of apples have dropped now from the tree. I'm presuming it's a bit of windfall and yeah, a preservation thing going on with the tree. It's yeah, it's looking great. Some cyclamen there coming up. They look lovely. That rotting log. And yeah, you can see still plenty of apples on the apple tree. Let's go up into the wilderness, I think, next. That's an acer. The berries on the dog rose, sorry. Oh, the hips are all changing red beautifully. That's going to have a great food source for the blackbirds. They like those very much. And the Gelder rose is getting its autumn colour too. Yeah, a few colours on a Gelder rose. And I did move the clematis. I'll show you where I've put that. And some berries on the holly as well this year. Yeah, let's just show you where I've put the clematis. I've put it in a big pot and it's on the fence. It's not going to get much light there, so it might contain its growth a little bit, and whether it'll flower I don't know, but I'll be happy for it to cover the fence. We do get robins and wrens nesting along this fence a lot, so it'll be more cover for the birds really, if nothing else. So yeah, another beautiful cosmea there. That's done better since the clematis has gone too, really. And up into the wilderness. This is an area that I try to leave as undisturbed as possible. Got my nettle bed here, just flowered and flowered this year. It's on its second flowering really now. There's a bramble going through it, but as I say, it hasn't produced any fruit this year, the bramble. I cut it back very hard, so perhaps cut it back again next year, but not quite as hard, so it can produce some fruit for us, because we had a good crop of blackberries last year. And then, yeah, so most of this is self-seeded. I have added things to it because it does get a good bit of sun, and it's normally busy with bees. So yeah, the Joe Pye plant being the main plant up here now, that's a Mahonia. That'll give us some flowers later in the year, towards December really. Yellow flowers, great source for, if we continue having this mild weather, there'll be some bees out, I'm sure. We've got an oak tree in a pot, and hawthorn, there's buddleias, dogwood, native dogwood, pyracanthus, lots of berries there for the birds, and lots of ivy too. And then we head up into, it's like a mini forest really, I suppose. Honestly, there's young seedlings everywhere, and this one hasn't even popped yet, so there'll be lots of honesty about it. And then as we head up, there's the plum trees, there's ash and plum up here, and my hazel. And then it's like a dead hedge. I pile up all my woody cuttings here and have done forever, so it's built quite the bank really of dead wood. Now I've just walked into a cobweb. I'm not going to go any further. I don't want to disturb the spider. It looks like it's got something to eat, so we'll stop there. There's nothing up there really. It's yeah, just my dead hedge and my hazel trees up there. But this year we're actually getting plums on the plum trees. Never had plum. Well, we do get plums, but they always go mildewy, and rot and drop off and are always misshapen. So they've obviously enjoyed the dry warmth that we've had this year. So yeah, there's the spider. It's difficult to focus on them, isn't it? It's only a small one, so but it's definitely having its breakfast, so we'll leave that alone. Let it munch on. It's in a good spot really, because the insects all fly up that way. And this is looking back on the wilderness. Look how many seeds there are in those honesty plants. Amazing. And obviously they are very decorative once they've dropped their seeds. Great for indoor decoration. This is dock. They have lovely autumn colour seed heads, I always think. Oh, and look, feather's got caught. It looks like a crow feather. Have a closer look. Yeah, it's a crow feather. That plant's called nipplewort, and it's got caught up in the nipplewort. My granddaughter's just starting to collect feathers. She wants to make a feather collection like a granny. So that's one for her. Yeah, so that's the wilderness this time of year. Looking back down towards the house. And you can see how substantial the trees are and how much water they must be demanding from the water table. Yeah, definitely a tinge of autumn there. Sorry about that. A definite tinge of autumn coming through there. But I suppose, yeah, we're nearer autumn than we are spring, aren't we? So, yeah, and summer is virtually over. But it's been a good summer, but a dry one, sadly. Cat's loving the grass and the sun. Well, take care, everyone. I hope to see you all soon. And, yeah, enjoy the weather and keep cool if you can. Bye for now.